Okay, I think we're recording now. Yep, see it going. Hi, everyone. My name is Joanne Pacheco. I am, what am I doing? Today is Friday, September 29th. I normally record on a Saturday. Usually it's the third or the last Saturday of the month. But the last weekend it was so busy. Tomorrow I'm going to be going out of town busy again. So why not today? So, my channel is about cross stitch. I have been cross stitching for a couple of years. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And so I do this FlossTube video because I love to share what I do. I don't look for followers. I don't, if you want to follow me, great. If you want to like, subscribe, great. But just know that I'm here just to share what I like to do with others, and hopefully others can find me, others can see my ideas, and hopefully I can enable you. So yeah, hopefully I won't say too much. But anyway, so it's been about a month. Well, it should be over a month now since I last recorded. My goal is to record at least once a month because I know that I will have enough work to do or whips done and enough things done that I can share some things with you. Hopefully, I don't want my videos to be more than 30-40 minutes because I know you all have other floss tubers to watch. So I want you to spend just a little bit of time with me and then go watch other floss tubers. I know time is of the essence. I follow a lot of people on FlossTube, so I know that sometimes I don't have time, to watch others. So anyways, let's get started. I'm going to today talk about, going to show you my calendar. I did start a calendar a couple months ago to kind of keep track of what I'm doing. I am not a stitcher where I keep track of time or stitches or things like a lot of people track of. I do a little bit if I'm doing some kind of challenge that requires to do that, I will. But for the most part, I just stitch whatever I want to stitch. And that's pretty much it. So I'll talk a little bit about that as I go through the video. First of all, I do want to share with you about a retreat that I participated in September. It was an online retreat. So Acorns and Threads does a retreat every fall, autumn. I'm not sure what this is. I'm in Florida, so we don't celebrate autumn. We don't celebrate fall per se because nothing changes here. It's hot all year long. So fall, autumn means nothing to me. It's just another day in the summertime. But anyway, so September. So they do a retreat in September. Acorns and Threads. They are in Oregon. Oregon? Yes, they're in Oregon. And so they have a face-to-face retreat there, but they also offer an online retreat for individuals that cannot go face-to-face. And so I thought, why not? I've done another retreat online. It was great, so why not give this a try? So I signed up for it. It started Friday. It went on Saturday and Sunday, and it was great. I loved it. I want to do it every year. I think it's well worth the money. Want to do it. It's great. You build a lot of relationships. You meet a lot of people. Unfortunately, next year I will be attending the Garon Stitching in the Wild retreat in Alabama, and it's the same weekend. So, bummer. So I am not going to be able to attend next year, but hopefully the following year I can attend. So it was great. I am going to show you a couple of charts that we got. Their guest designers was Satsuma Street and Ink Circles. And so it was great. Actually, I do have Satsuma Street's chart here that we received, and so I'm going to show you that. I have not started this chart. These charts came with linen. I am not a linen stitcher. I stitch with Aida, mainly 16 count, 14, 16 count, and now 18 count. And recently, well, a few months ago, I started stitching on Lugana or even weave. So linen, I'm not sure I'm ready to go into. I don't want to dive into that. Um, Even weave can sometimes be a little tricky for me, but I love it. I love stitching on even weave. I'll continue to stitch on even weave. Actually, I tend to want to find things that I can stitch on linen weave. I mean, even weave, so that I can keep practicing. Um, but the linen that came with these charts, I actually gifted them to a friend from one of the groups who loves to stitch on linen. So I don't have those to share. I mailed them out right away so that I didn't have to hold them here for a while. But I'm going to show you the chart. Excuse me. You're going to learn that some of my words are not going to come out right. I'm sorry, that's my own English. English was not my first language, although people can't tell because of my accent. But I want to apologize from the beginning. Sometimes words don't come out the right way. So just laugh it off. I apologize. Moving on. Charts. So this one was by Satsuma Street. And I think it's a beautiful chart. I don't know when I'll start it. I do want to find um, an 8-0 or an even weave that will complement these colors. One of the things that Jody explained about changing fabric is that we need to find there's shadowing under these leaves, although you can't really see them, but there's stitches under those leaves that creates a shadow. And when we saw the model stitch, um, that made the piece look 3D, which is great. So she had recommended that if we're going to change the chart, that we need to pick something that's going to keep that shadow there. So it's going to be a challenge, but that's okay. It's not something that I have to start right now, today, so I'm not stressing it. But this was stitched on a 30 count linen in Havana by Weeks Dye Works. It was a very pretty linen, but I was not even going to think to do that. And the nice thing about it is that it did come fully kitted, and it came with Cosmos. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. My phone was doing some crazy noise and I need to find out what it was. So I was talking about the chart provided to us by Satsuma Street at the Acorns and Threads retreat. And these are the threads. These are Cosmo. Now, I have used Cosmo in the past. For a small chart, I think it was maybe like 5 or 6 Cosmo threads. But so this would be nice to use this and create that beautiful chart. So those are all the Cosmo threads that came with the pack. So that's one of the charts. And then in my whip section, I am going to show you the other chart that came from Ink Circles. So let me show you my progress. Well, here's my calendar. I have a lot of things that I've written down. Definitely a full calendar. Oh, look, I got these stickers from the retreats. So I just stuck them on there. I don't put stickers on my calendar, but I thought, why not? Stick those in there. My lighting is kind of weird. So there's my calendar. One thing that I stuck on here is my AB single board. So I started to participate in Carolyn Sook's AB single. Okay, let's try this again. I'm so sorry. I don't have a fancy studio. I'm just here in my room, living room, and my lighting seems to be a little wonky here. So hopefully that light won't be a distraction, but I just needed more lighting. It feels like it's getting dark outside, and so the lighting kind of got pretty crazy here. So as I was saying, I created, so in September, Carolyn Sook does a bingo challenge called ABC Go. And so we create our own chart. You use letters of the alphabet. And of course, there's 26 letters. She takes out a letter out of the alphabet. I don't remember what letter she took out this year. And so the way I do my board is I put a picture of the chart that I'm going to stitch. And when I first created this chart, this board, I thought, you know what? I'm not going to pick 25 projects. I am just going to pick a few projects and try to fit them in the letters as much as I can so that I can put good progress in these charts. And so I think I picked 5 or 6 projects. You can see some of them are repeated. And so I started out great. I worked on some, and then the challenge is that you stitch for an hour or 100 stitches. And so this year I thought, you know what? I'm going to count stitches. I'm going to do 100 stitches, and you can see there on the boxes, you know, the dates that I stitched and how many stitches I put in when I finished. Now, some of these I work more than an hour because usually I'm in a Zoom group and I'm Zooming. And when you Zoom with other people, you're really just doing a lot of talking. So, you know, I got a lot of stitches. Most of them I got more than 100 stitches, which was great. But by and I was doing great. I mean, I was going along. And then by the 7th day, no, the last time that I stitched was on September 9th. By the 9th of the month, I was like, I don't want to work on these charts anymore. Some of these charts I worked 2 days in a row. Sometimes it was more than that because they're randomly picked. And so I did great for the first 9 days of the month, and then I was done. So I kind of pretty much gave up after the 9th day. Just was not interested in the charts. So I quit. I'm a quitter, you guys. I'm sorry. I just couldn't do it. So I put this away. I called it. I UFO'd it. I just said no more. So I didn't do it. And that's fine. You know, my board, my rules. If I don't want to stitch, I don't stitch. And so that's what I did. My thinking is now in January, she will do another bingo game. That one is called Bringo. And so they actually, for that one, they give you the prompts. So they'll do things like, you know, stitch on something that's flashy or glittery or shiny. They'll say stick on something that has a book, you know, so that's fun to do too. And sometimes you can use more, but I think I'm going to I'm going to make a board that's going to use more of my whips. I have so many whips. Actually, I think I was counting this. I think I'm in like the 30s now, maybe high 20s, almost 30s. So I've got plenty of whips that I can do and I can use. So I'm going to do that next time better. I just felt like, I don't know, I felt like I just kind of limited myself and I wasn't having fun. Again, I like to stitch on what I like to stitch. So I just really limited myself for this challenge and I just lost it. But that's okay. But I'm still going to keep it, you know, just kind of, you know, as a record that, yes, you know, these are the charts I selected. I just taped it to my calendar and call it a day. And that was the only challenges really that I did this month. Okay. Let's talk about whips. I have several whips that I stitch on this month. And as I go along, I will kind of tell you a little bit as to what the whips, why I'm stitching on them, and I don't know, just whatever information I come to mind. I don't have a schedule. I don't have an agenda per se. I don't have notes. I'm just going on the fly because that's what we do, you know? Anyways, the first one I want to show you actually is a new hobby craft I started. So I am part of this group called Crafts and Books. They are a Facebook group where we talk about stitching, and then we also have a book club that we do every month. We read a different book and have a discussion. Great. I love the group. I found them about a month ago. It is run by Beth. What is her YouTube channel? One second. Yes, Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher. So I kind of find her FlossTube channel, and that's how I got introduced into her group, which is called Crafts and Books. And so we have a Zoom group, or she has a Zoom group that meets on Fridays, Saturdays, and Mondays. And then for the month of September, we're meeting on Wednesdays for Witchy Wednesday. And so for the month of September and October, up until the 25th of October, we're going to be meeting on Wednesdays to stitch on something Halloween, if you like. I don't stitch Halloween. I don't stitch seasonal, but they have enabled me to pick up a Halloween chart and stitch on it, be part of the group. Will you get kicked out of the group for not stitching on Halloween? No. But it's fun. There's a theme to that Zoom group for the Wednesday, so why not use it? Follow it. So anyway, so in that Zoom group, one of the girls, Emily, she was one day working on a latch, here comes my words, latch hook kit. And I was like, oh, wow, that's cool, So she showed what she was working on, and I thought, nope, 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 nope. I don't need to do another hobby. No. Well, I went to Michael's and I bought a kit. I thought, why not? It's something to do different from time to time. So the one I bought, I don't even know what this is called, but I'm just going to call it my owl. Here's my owl. That's what the picture is going to look like. So these are like rugs. So they turn out to be rugs. I did one square. I was proud of myself. I mean, it is kind of like stitching, but it's different because you have these little pieces and you just kind of take it and hook them. So it's not like it's something that's in a needle per se all the time. You're just going and hooking it. So that's something that I started this month. I thought she was really cute. So yeah, I completed a block. And I'm going to keep working on that. I only worked on that for like a day or two, and then I just moved on to other things. So just something different to have. I'm not sure that this is something that I really will take with me on the road, because it's got a lot of little things. And so, it's kind of hard to keep up with that, but just a fun little thing, when I'm in the Zoom group. Actually, this afternoon or this evening at 6:30, the Zoom will start for tonight, and it'll go on until the last man standing, which sometimes, oops, it's my alarm, my 5 o'clock alarm. So I didn't go to work today. I played hooky today. I need them to mental day off of work, so I called to my boss. Well, I text my boss. I say, hey, listen, I'm not coming into work today. So I've been home all day, and I have an alarm set for 5 o'clock to remind me that I need to pack up and go. Just because, and I don't like to walk out of the office until it's 5 o'clock on the dot. It's just my thing. So anyways, that was my alarm. I'm sorry. Okay, so that was latch hook kit. Will I buy more? I don't know. I am going to really just finish that one before I introduce another one into my WIP pile. Sorry for the interruptions. My allergies are horrible today, so I've had to break and kind of walk away. Anyway, so whips. So this next WIP, this first WIP, is one that I am stitching with my friend Shelly. Her and I met Shelly at, let me put that there. I met Shelly at the Stitching in the Wild retreat, and so her and I picked this up. This is by Stitchy Pros. We picked this up and decided that we would stitch this together, and the goal is to finish it by the next retreat. Doesn't have to be fully finished or FFO'd, but we just want to finish it. So I started this on an Ada back in August, and Didn't realize that this chart has specialty stitches. So it's got Smyrna stitches and it's got the stitches called Levithrian or something like that. So doing those specialty stitches on an Aida was very difficult because I was having to go in between the threads and I didn't like it. So I decided that I would change the fabric and I am stitching this on a 28 count Lugana. The color is Sand by Charles Craft. So I had this piece of Lugana and I decided let me do it here because like these here, these are Smyrna stitches and they look so much better on the even weave. Um, so that's where I am. I started this last week and I just, that border is really cool. I mean, that border is just repetitive. You count, you go. You count, you go. It's the same all around. I'm not a border stitcher. I really don't like it. And I thought, I'll do a little bit at a time. But this border I really like. And the more I do it, I can't stop. So I worked on the border. I did a little bit of the frog. I'm going to keep working on the border, do more on the frog. So that's that one. So yeah, so this is by Holly Freeman, the Stitchy Pros. She's got some really cute charts out there. I have another one by her, but I haven't started yet. So there's that. This next chart whip. So I had won a $20.5 gift card to Annabella's from her pop-up retreat this summer. And so I selected this chart to stitch. I started it on this fabric, which I don't have. I think I don't know what it's. I started it on this fabric. I'm not using the call for fabric. I don't like it. When I got that section done, I don't like it. So right now I'm in the middle of looking for another fabric. But I wanted to show it. I think this fabric for this chart is just a little too bright. I need something a little bit darker. This is French or country, vintage country mocha. So maybe I just need to get a vintage country freaking mocha. I don't. I'm so sorry. Vintage country mocha. You know what it is. It's out there. But I wanted to use fabric in my stash. And so I thought, oh, I'll use this one. But I don't like it. And I mainly don't like it because you can't really see that white. I mean, you can there, but I don't like it. I really like how this looks in the picture, but whatever. I just wanted to show it off. It is one of my newer charts that I got. I thought this was a really cute chart. I wanted to do it, but it's not working for me. So I'll restart it. I find myself that I'm restarting things, that I have restarted things lately. And I just think that, again, I have a little bit of stash of fabric that my friend Joy Lisa helped me start. And so I'm trying to use what I have. But when it doesn't work, it's like, put a halt. Let's move on. So that's what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to have to buy a vintage. Yeah, that. Words. Remember words. All right, this next chart is called Autumn Beauties. This is a Fat Quarter Shop exclusive. This was a mystery sale that started in 2021. Yep, mystery sale started 2021. Here we are, 2023. I started this in October 2021. 2 years later, I have yet to finish part 1 or 2. But you know what? That's okay. Sales are simply a start along for me. I'll start the projects, but I'll finish when I decide to finish. I don't keep up with sales. I just hate to admit it. A lot of people don't keep up with them. I'm okay with that. But I did stitch a little bit of this. I actually finished that sign. I've decided to go with the Fall Y'all sign. The chart provides you with three or four choices, like autumn, fall y'all, something else. But I went with fall y'all. So I worked on that. I finished the sign, and then I think I worked a little bit on and I worked in this section here. So there's that. Okay. I'm trying to keep my stuff organized so when I get done, it doesn't take me 2 or 3 hours to put it all together again. This next chart I started this was one of the charts that I selected for my Witchy Wednesday stitch with the group. So this was a freebie. Sorry, I just want to make sure I'm in the frame here. This is a freebie from Crochet to Go-Go. I'm calling it Happy Halloween. It has a name. It's like Il Capello della Strega. I know I'm not saying that correct, but it's simply Happy Halloween. Saw it on her website for free, and I thought, hey, why not? And I'm stitching this on a 32 count Lugana, and it's a fabric by Stephanie. I had bought this piece at the Stitching in the Wild retreat. I thought it was beautiful. I love the colors. It's a 32, so this is my first 32 count. And so far I'm doing okay with it. You know, I like it. I like the modeling in that fabric. So there's that. So on Wednesdays, I'll pick it up. I've got this chart and another chart that you'll see. And so I kind of alternate. So one week I'll work on this one and another week I'll work on the other chart that I'll show you here shortly. Okay, this next one is called Magical Forest by the Stitchy Princess. I really like this chart. I like working on this. I don't know. I find this to be one of my favorites just because I call this my funky forest because I just think this is a really cute chart. I've been working on this for a little while. I started this back in April of 2022, but I've been bringing it out more and more, especially during my challenges because I really do want to finish it. And I think this is one of those charts or whips that I selected to finish by the end of the year. I'm part of the Soulful Stitchers group where she does a challenge once a year. She starts in, I think it's January 28th through January 18th through December 18th. So her birthday, I believe, is January 18th. She starts it there and finishes in December 18th, where you have to select a chart or whips, a minimum of 6 whips, and you have to finish half of those, so 3. So I selected 8 whips, and this is one of the whips that I selected. And I've kind of worked more down here and here. I finished this, and I worked down here this last month, something like that. So there's that. I have a couple of things by Stitchy Princess. She is in the Ukraine, and I like to support her as much as I can and buy her charts. This next chart is French Country Butterfly by JBW. This is another one of those that I started a year ago. Actually, tomorrow will be a year. And I had gotten this as a giveaway that Annie the Proper Stitcher gave back in February of 2022. And so I started this on this 14 count Ada that I purchased at Michael's. And it's a printed Ada. It's got like some pinkish, bluish, greenish color in there. I don't know if you can really see it. You can see some of the modeling up here. And then I'm stitching this with DMC 115. I really wanted to use a variegated floss, and so I picked 115. It's working out okay. I mean, when you have a lot of starts and stops here, it's kind of hard to keep that variegation going and flowing. So I do a loop method, and then I just kind of select the floss, like I'll select a light floss and I'll stitch here. So I kind of pick where I want the lightness. Probably not the best chart to select a floss like that. But that's okay. I like it. It's almost done. Yeah, it's almost done. It should be done in the next week. If I just keep on it, it'll be done. So that will be a finished by my next video. This next one is called Farm Life. This is an It's So Emma, which is also Fat Quarter Shop. I worked on that this month. I've been working on that cow there. Hopefully I'm not moving. I'm just checking, make sure I'm in the frame. So I'm working on that cow there. Put a little bit of stitching there. This was actually on the AB single board, so that's why I got to work some on that this month. There's that. You know, I don't want to be here for too long, so I don't know. I like to hold things so that you can see it, but I'm just going to keep on moving. Okay, so this next whip, this is actually the the chart that we got for Eat Circles at the Acorn Sign Threads. I started it. I'm going to show you that. Now that chart's got a lot going on in that chart, but I think this is, it's just a cool chart. It's just, yes, there's a lot going on, but I think it is so pretty. I really like that. I am stitching this on a 18 count Fiddler's Light Oatmeal. Again, this was something that I had on my stash. There it is. Beautiful colors. I wanted to show you this. So this I thought was pretty cool. So these all came kitted, of course. And what is her name? I am so sorry. Jody was the other. Was it Teresa? I don't remember. Eat Circles. She actually kitted up the floss, or put the floss light, you know, in the ring. But I want to show you this. So she created this and included that as a floss tag. And I thought that was pretty cool how you've got all right there. You've got your colors, your symbols. I just thought that was a pretty cool tag. I've never seen anybody do that. If I have, I don't notice, but I just thought it was cool. But here's another cool thing. She also did, so apparently she does, I'm trying to find a piece of paper. She does jewelry. And one of the things, one of the blings she put on here was this little ball. And when we first opened up our swag bag, we're all looking at this. We're like, oh, yeah, that's cool. And I'm like, wait a minute, y'all. That's orts. She stuffed this with orts. There's orts inside of there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's orts in there. So she had to make like 200 of these kits and stuff them all with orts. And I thought that was pretty cute. That was a pretty cute thing she did. This was also a charm we got, or a zipper pull, whatever, for the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. So I just hooked it on there. So yeah, so that's the one for Eat Circles. Not a lot started, but it's just really cute. I like working on it, and I'll keep working on that little by little. Again, I just kind of put it in my rotation. This next chart is another old one. I started this in September of 2021. Fat Quarter Shop did a stitch along. It was also a mystery stitch along called All the Trimmings. And again, I think this is my first stitch along that I joined, you know, when I first started stitching. And so, yes, I haven't finished it. We're almost done, but I've been working here. I've worked on this row here this last month or so, little by little. I want to really get this finished so that I can FFO it or put it up, but I like it. It's cute. Again, I'm not a seasonal stitcher. I don't stitch a lot of Christmas or Halloween and stuff like that, but when I first started, I just decided, oh, I want to do that. Fat Quarter Shop always has some cute charts. They're easy to stitch, easy to follow, so anything that they offer, I usually like to tag along as much as I can. So that's that. This next one is a Teresa Kogut's chart from her Let Love Rain book that came out on Needle Market 2022. I think this was Market 2022. I am stitching. I'm not stitching Let Love Rain. I'm stitching the one that has in the book that's called Love Your Family. That is a massive, big house. So I haven't finished the house, but I did have to move. You know, I had to go here just because I need to, when there's so much, when I get too overwhelmed with one section, I have to move and do other things. And then I come back to this and I'll add a little bit more. But that house is massive. I just thought, you know, I need to move on, work on other things, because then I feel like I'm getting along with finishing it. This one's also my Year of Whips challenge by the Soulful Stitcher. So will I finish it this year? I don't know. There's still a lot more to go. So I'm not sure that this will be done before December 18th. But I like working on this. I like those colors. I like working on this chart. Okay, just a few more charts. This is another chart by Stitchy Princess. This actually came out of the February 2023 Just Cross Stitch magazine. This actually is on my, this actually is my travel piece this month. So I take this with me. Don't mind my thread. I'm finishing that up there. This I take it with me and I work on this at lunch. And I'm just stitching this on a 14 count Ada by Swigart. And I've been stitching on this. I started this in December of 2022. This was actually started for the New Year's Eve 12 by 12 challenge that Pam and Kia B put together. And so I started it, and I've used it for my ABC Goes and Baringo boards and any challenge that I can add this into. It's just a cute little chart. Okay. I have so many charts that I just want to finish, but it's like there's not enough time in the world to do this. You know, I do work full time. If I can play hooky every once in a while, I'll do that. But today I haven't done any stitching today. Today I just decided I'm going to get things ready to do the video, and I'll stitch tonight. So in about an hour, I'll be logging in and stitching with the group. This next chart I started is called Solar Flare. This is, I want to make sure I'm getting it there. This is a Carolyn Manning Designs. So Crafts and Books Facebook group, they started a challenge that for a full coverage chart. Never done a full coverage, and so they introduced Stitches So Beautiful, which I do have a chart by Stitches So Beautiful that is a full coverage. I will show it to you. Not going to show it to you today because there's just not a lot of progress, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But I picked this because it's a smaller chart, and I thought, oh, I can do this, and I love the colors on that. There's a lot of purples, a lot of different shades of purple. I couldn't believe it. But this is a cute chart. I work on this from time to time. It's just a small, you know, start, nothing big. But so far, I'm liking it. And, you know, yeah, I'll keep stitching it. The other thing about this is because I was introduced also to Pattern Keeper. Excuse me. So I was introduced to Pattern Keeper when I started talking about doing a full coverage. And so I've been using that. I actually purchased, I have a Kindle Fire, and I couldn't figure out how to download Pattern Keeper on Kindle Fire. There's not available. So I actually went on Amazon and I purchased just a cheap, it was like a $40 tablet. I think it's like 7-inch. And it's a Samsung tablet. And I purchased this just for the purpose of using it for Pattern Keeper. And so I've been learning to use that, and I like it, you know. Will I use Pattern Keeper for all my PDF charts? No. I am a paper person, but I know that using Pattern Keeper for full coverage is important. I mean, it works great. And the nice thing about it is you can keep track of the stitches, or the pattern keeper keeps track of the stitches for you, the percentage and all that. So that's kind of fun to use too. So I'm using it for that one. And then I purchased one by Stitches So Beautiful. I didn't print it out. Maybe I can find the picture here on my phone. I started stitching on this about a week or two ago, but I don't have a lot of progress. And I didn't want to show it simply because there's a lot of black. Like the first 3,000 stitches are black, but there it is. And I purchased this. She is so beautiful. I just think it's, I don't know. I saw this and I just found it amazing. So, and it's called Blue Gin, Jin. So I started working on that. I'm just not, all you're going to see is like 3 blocks of black. There's nothing fun about that. So once I start working more on that, it is a huge piece. This project, it's like 500 by 700 or something like that. Okay. My fabric is the size of a crib blanket. Okay. What was I thinking? This thing, you pick it up like this and it covers the whole me. Lots of stitching, but I love that and I can't wait until I get into that. I haven't figured out yet how I'm going to stitch. Some people have, there's a lot of ideas on how to stitch, or ideas on how to stitch as tips. Do we work across? Do we work down? You've got people that'll do a block here, come up, and just kind of work. Then you've got people that, one thing I've heard recently from the group, my group crafts and books they're big enablers. You want to purchase things, you want to find things, you want to find out about anything, come to the group. They will enable you. We talk, we shop, we stitch, we do it all. Anyway, so one of the girls had recommended doing like the checkerboard. And I thought, you know what, I might try that because you start here and you can go here and you can kind of move along. Because my thing is I want to get into some of those colors. I want to see this thing come to life. And I know it's going to take me 30 years, but I'm okay with that. It's beautiful. All right. So enough of that full coverage talk. Let's get going. I've got a couple more to show you. I promise I'm not going to be here for an hour. This next chart, this was an exclusive for Garon, for Stitching in the Wild by Garon, by Teresa Kogut, called Sunshine and Blooms. And this is stitched on an 18 count Ada by XG Designs. It's called Grandma's Slip. And this was a fully kitted project. So of course I bought the full kit. Anything that comes fully kitted, as long as it comes with a fabric piece that I like and I can stitch, I buy the full kit. Why not? The work's done for you, This uses DMC, Classic Colorworks, and We Style Works. So if they kit it up for you, then I take advantage of that and purchase it all together. This next piece is going to be done tonight. I'm going to finish this during the Zoom retreat. It's done. I mean, the only thing I have left is to finish this leaf and do the back stitches up here. This is from, it's called Eat Stitch, Sleep, Repeat. It's a needle book. It came from, where did this come from? Just Cross Stitch Magazine, June 2020 issue. I am not making this into a needle book. This actually, I started in January during Baringo because one of the prompts was to do something that was flashy. And the only thing I had that was flashy was this piece of fabric. I don't know if you can tell. There's some glittering. You kind of tell there. It's a glittery fabric, so I use that as my flashy piece. And I just picked this simple little chart. This one I've also been stitching it during lunch as my travel piece just because it's so simple. Like I'll have it done, like I said, I'll have it done tonight and then it'll go away until I can FFO it. So that'll be a finish. And that's a 14 count Ada. It's called Iridescent. And I just got that at Michael's. And I picked my own colors. I mean, I did try to match. Well, no, I didn't match them at all. Yeah, I picked my own colors. Oops. Yeah, those are all my own colors. I don't normally pick my own colors, but when I have a piece that's got maybe 5 or 6 colors, if I don't have all the colors, I just pick whatever I want. That's okay. You can do that. And this last piece is my trick or treat piece that I stitched for Witchy Wednesday. And this piece is by Annabella's. I don't have a lot finished on this. I've only worked on it 2 Wednesdays this month. So the only thing I worked on was the O and the R. And I worked on it this week. So next week I'll work on the Halloween hat. But it's a cute little chart. No, I'm not planning on finishing this by this Halloween. It'll get done. I'll work on it. It's a simple chart. This is another one of those charts that I didn't have all the colors called for. So I just picked my own and kind of matched the colors that are on there. So that's it. Those are all my whips. Next month, so I didn't write this down, but next month, the Soulful Stitcher is going to have, every weekend in October, there's going to be a challenge. One of her challenges is stitch on something that's black. Something, I didn't write it down, I'm sorry, but in October, there's going to be, I'm going to be busy because, you know, if I can join a challenge in the groups, that keeps me motivated. That keeps me going. In October, there's also going to be 24, they call it 24 HOC, Hawks, HOCS, 24 hours of cross stitch. So the weekend, there's a weekend in October for 3 days. The challenge is to stitch for 24 hours. So I'm going to participate in that. Okay, I guess I'm going into plans. So that's my plan for October. Like I said, I try to do a video every month. So October is pretty much going to be my plan. Oh, I'm going to a retreat in October in a couple of weeks, October 14th. So I found through my local groups, through my Zoom groups, I found that there's a local group in Tampa or Largo, which is about 2.5 hour drive for me going north in Florida. They do once a year a face-to-face retreat. It's a 1-day retreat. I think it's like from 10 to 5. It's called FAST. Don't ask me what FAST stands for, but it's stitching related. So anyway, so I got in, like I think I was the last ticket that purchased. It was like a $30 fee. They do provide lunch and they'll have a swag bag and, you know, just like any type of retreat you go to, this is kind of the same experience. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to go and meet some friends. Actually, one of the ladies from the Crafts and Books Zoom group, Camille, she goes to the shop. So there's a shop there that puts this together. She goes to the shop and stitches on Saturdays. And I've been trying to get to the shop to stitch, but I just feel like my Saturdays are so busy. But I do Zoom with Camille during the week on Crafts and Books. So we get to chat and I'll get to meet her in person that weekend. So it'll be great. So yeah, so those are my plans for October. You will hear more when I see you guys in a month. I think my kids are going to be getting home here pretty soon, so I'm going to get going. Going to get ready for my Zoom. Oh, we still have an hour to go. Okay, perfect. So I've got time to just put things together. Um, anything else? Am I missing anything? No, I think that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Um, you know, if you have any questions, you want to reach out to me, comment below. I think my email address is on my channel somewhere. I'll put it in the box below. I'm not good at putting things in the box below. I don't I don't edit videos. What you get, what you see is what you get. If I pause in between, as soon as I'm done here, it's going to get uploaded. I don't even watch it. I'm good. You're good. We're all good. Anyways, have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great month. Stay safe. Stitch what you love. And bye. Bye, you guys. Ciao.